Welcome, Flyers fans. You're listening to Chris Mayer, Flyers Fan Mania 93 on YouTube.
All right, what is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris, and today I am back with another video here. The Philadelphia Flyers at number 5 overall in the 2022 NHL Draft have selected Cutter Gauthier from the United States Development Program. I really like this pick. I think the whole beginning of the draft, right, was nuts. I will say that. Like, I don't think anybody outside of like Corey Proman from The Athletic, who called that, which was incredible. Shane Wright going forward was not something that I had. I listen, I'm not really a huge prospects guy. I'm not really known for prospects. You know, I do my research. I do as much as I can and try to get the most out of everything. And try to learn as much as I can about the prospects as the Flyers season is going on and things like that, and guys that they can target. But I'm not that much of a prospect guy. That was one thing I did not see happening. Slavkovsky going number 1 is understandable. Nemec going 2 was not something. Cooley 3, I think is fair. As for Ron Francis and Seattle, I think it was kind of hard to pass up on Wright. But that's not the topic of this video. The topic of this video is Chuck Fletcher, the Philadelphia Flyers, Brent Flair, and the entire staff selecting Cutter Gauthier at number 5. So Gauthier, if you do not know anything about Cutter, he is 18 years old. He is from Sweden. He plays in the United States for the United States Development Program. Position is center left wing. On Elite Prospects, he's listed at 6'2". His weight is around 201 pounds. I've seen different websites have him 6'2", 6'3". Weight's pretty much similar. Does shoot left. And he was, rated a little, he's kind of all over the place. At the consolidated ranking, had him at 8. Elite Prospects had him at 11. FC Hockey at 6. Bob McKenzie had him at 5, going to Philadelphia. Craig Button had him at 7. Number 3 by the NHL Central Scouting for North American Skaters. Ranked 7 by Sportsnet. 16 by ISS Hockey. 7 by Recruit Scouting. 9 by Dobber Prospects. 11 by Draft Prospects Hockey. 18 by Smart Scouting. And number 5 by the Puck Authority. Just a little, again, I think there's different things that a lot of people will look at, but as for Gauthier, this past year, in the United States Development Program in the juniors, he played 22 games played, 19 goals, 9 assists for 28 points. Then he played for the U.S. National Under-18 team, 54 games played, 34 goals, 31 assists for 65 points. And then he played for the U18 World Junior Tournament, played 6 games there, 3 goals, 6 assists, 9 points. And then again, just by looking at his stats, he has some pretty good stats. Obviously, the goals is the big thing that stands out there with Gauthier. I really didn't think this was a pick that the Flyers could have really messed up, especially with the way that it fell, right? It was either they were going to get Jiricek, Kemmel, Gauthier. I mean, they had a good amount of options here. And again, I thought Gauthier was a good pick. Again, I feel like that I think there's always going to be people that kind of harp on the draft and guys that they should have taken or things like that or whoever, right? But I actually talked with Cutter back in December, back around Christmas time, maybe 1 or 2 weeks before. He told me one thing he was working on this season was using his size 24/7, using his size all the time, and his skating. So those are 2 things that obviously we'll see next week with development camp. But it was good to at least be able to talk with him a little bit beforehand as well. And again, I'm sure he's thrilled to come here. Just going back to a little bit of a scouting report here, and this is from Smart Scouting on Gauthier's skating. Gauthier is surprisingly agile for a player his size at 18 years old, as he can turn on a dime with enough lower body strength and powerful skating stride to get him up to high speed in only a few strides. When the puck is turned over in transition by the opponent, Gauthier can quickly switch direction and begin a rush up ice, seemingly never losing a step. Gauthier is also quite strong on his edges and incredibly difficult to knock him off balance, especially when he's carrying the puck. So that is one thing that is good, right? And you see it in the highlights with him. The way he skates, it's very hard for him to get knocked off the puck. As for his offense, while Gauthier is very talented in every zone on the ice, it's his offensive ability which may draw the greatest number of eyes to his game. Gauthier plays the role of modern power forward to a T and excels at using his speed and size to generate space in the offensive zone. Once he's found space, he has no issue firing the puck on net from just about anywhere from the blue line in. Speaking of a shot, it's one of the best attributes to his overall game. Not only is it powerful and accurate for the most part, but he's also able to get it off insanely quick. So those are just some things there from Smart Scouting on Gauthier. Again, I really do like this pick. From the film that I had at least watched on him, I honestly saw him as more of a player that is good at driving the net, being able to get to the net and get to those areas. Be able to score in bunches, and obviously having, the amount of goals that he had this past year, again, 34 goals in 54 games played, that's good. So it's not like he wasn't, producing or anything. Next year he'll be at Boston College in the NCAA, so he'll be playing with a pretty decent team in BC up in Boston. But, again, I think this is a good pick for the Flyers. I mean, overall, Gauthier, I don't really think the Flyers could have messed this up. Again, with the way that it went, and having the obviously right fall and all of that stuff, I think this was a good pick for the Flyers. And there's maybe people think they should have taken a defenseman, maybe a forward. Look, I think they were. I don't think they. I mean, again, they did need a defenseman. I mean, we will see what happens tomorrow and if they make any other moves, and obviously Friday and all that stuff. But I think realistically they needed anything. They needed a forward, they needed a defenseman, and I like a goal-scoring forward. I think the U.S. program does a really good job, so I like that it's coming out of that U.S. program, especially that development team. And again, I mean, his size at 6'2", 6'3", 200 pounds at his age, and being able to score and have good skating, and obviously his defensive ability, he's a pretty good defender as well. Playing center, playing left wing, we'll see how that develops out. Obviously, most guys, if they're play a center in junior, not necessarily, that's a harder position to play coming up into the NHL. But again, we'll see how that goes. And obviously development is key for the Flyers because they have not been able to really develop players. So we'll see how they do with Gauthier. And again, I do think this is a good pick. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are below. Again, for tomorrow, Friday, for episode 5 of FF93 Live, you can still call in, call 267-939-1216 and leave a message, and I might just get back to you on tomorrow's show. And that will actually start, we're going to start around 10:30, probably going to go through most of the rounds 2 through 7 for the rest of the draft. Not sure what time I'll end. I guess it kind of depends on how long the day's going, if the Flyers make a couple moves. I do think they will, but we will see what happens. Again, let me know your guys' thoughts below. Remember, podcast and all of that stuff, you can check that out on the channel as well. Cutter Gauthier is a Philadelphia Flyer. Again, thank you all for the support, and I will talk to you all again soon.